You really can't trust ROAS right now. It seems to be shrinking every month a little bit more than it was the previous month. I have some data for you and it's exciting. I basically have some proof that ROAS is shrinking over time. And what do I mean by that? In 2022, we saw ROAS across the board for every account drop. Hi everyone, Regina here at Solutions 8 and StarterPPC. All right, I have some data for you and it's exciting, yes. So I basically have some proof that ROAS is shrinking over time. And what do I mean by that? So ROAS, return on ad spend, is basically a simple calculation of conversion value, right? All the money that came in inside of the Google Ads account divided by cost, right? The money that you spent on your Google Ads. Conversion value divided by cost. So for every dollar you spent on Google Ads, how many dollars did Google Ads make in return? The problem with this metric is that it relies heavily on Google's ability to track users from the point of the first click on an ad all the way through to the sale, okay? So this could take days, weeks, months, whatever. Even if it's in the same day, Google can sometimes drop that user. And Google's ability to track is becoming more and more limited every month. In 2022, we saw ROAS across the board for every account drop. So every single client who comes to us saying, I need a 300% return, we say, did you need a 300% return last year? Because a 300% return this year in Google Ads is a different number. It's a higher return of your business ROI than it was in 2020. A year ago. So I'm going to explain what I mean by this with some data. Here we go. So I'm showing you a profit and loss statement from one of our clients. Now, this is the worst quarter of the year for them. This is like the off season, but it really doesn't matter. This is just for the point of comparing ROAS to what I think is a much better metric, MER, which I'll get to in a minute. So you can see what I really like about this business as a good example is that it's really clean. This business doesn't do anything besides Google Ads. They don't have partnerships with other businesses that are buying in bulk from them. They don't have a store. They don't do Etsy ads. They don't do Amazon ads, whatever. So it's really very clean to look at the media cost and clean to look at the total online sales. And it's really easy to compare ROAS to MER in this particular case. This is why it's good, clean data to work with here. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've hidden a bunch of the rows that are kind of too granular and irrelevant, but it didn't hide anything that was that contributed to the totals. So here you can see that all of their online sales, and by the way, this is an e-commerce business that's basically drop shipping. They just sell products on the internet. There's nothing else going on with this business. So you can see that the total income all comes from online sales. And then the expenses I've kept broken down. You can see there's not a lot of different categories here. Google search, this is the amount of money that's being spent directly in Google Ads. This is the row here, the media costs. Everything else is other supplementary costs. So what I did is I went, you can see here, October 22 compared to October 21, November, and December. So you can see these comparisons year over year. And what I did is I went into Google Ads and I grabbed what Google is reporting is the return, right? So return on ad spend according to Google is this row. And then what I did is I calculated the MER. So what is MER? It's basically like ROAS, but zoomed out for the whole business, not just Google Ads. So it stands for media efficiency ratio, and it's the same calculation as ROAS, right? Conversion value divided by cost, except instead of conversion value, we're taking the entire business's conversion value, right? All the income, which in this case is exactly identical because this business, like I said, only does Google Ads. And then we take the cost. So actually, I'm sorry, it's not identical. They do get some sales through email, right? So some repeat business or people that just know them and come directly to the site. So that's the hard part, right? It's hard to distinguish between who came from Google Ads, who came from an email, who came directly to the site, who came because their friends told them about it. So anyways, MER calculates all of this conversion value divided by cost, right? Your media spend is basically anything that is an ad or something that is going to scale when the business scales. It's just one other way of looking at ROAS, return on ad spend. So I calculated that here with this math equation, this row divided by this row, and I compared them.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I want to remind you that we provide done-for-you Google Ads services. We're the #1 ranked Google Ads agency on the planet with almost $100 million in ad spend under management. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, C-level exec, director of marketing, and you're managing your own Google Ads, I think that's a massively inefficient use of your time. As a matter of fact, in my experience, within 90 days, we're able to optimize existing campaigns to a point to where we're paying for ourselves. We move from being a cost center to a profit center, and I want to put my time and my money where my mouth is. If you're spending $10,000 a month or more in Google Ads, I want to offer you a free, no obligation action plan. A high-level member of my team, one of our strategists, will look at your account, open the hood, and do a full diagnostic and explain everything that we would recommend that you change in order to optimize your campaigns. You can take that, do it yourself, you can hand it to an internal member of your team, or in an ideal world, you can hire us. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Please go to sol8.com. That's sol8.com. Request your free action plan. Until then, back to your regularly scheduled program.
So what I found to be very interesting is in 2022 compared with 2021, the difference between MER and ROAS got way bigger, right? So 1.54 is the difference here in 2022 compared to 0.4 is the difference in 2021, 0.87 compared to 0.06 difference. These two were almost identical in 2021, ROAS and MER, and 0.67 compared to 0.22. What does this mean? Why is this relevant? Okay, so what's happening is Google's ability to track users in 2022 has gone down compared to 2021, right? MER is not affected by Google's ability to track. ROAS relies heavily on Google's ability to track and report which of the sales did it get. Whereas this just takes the total business revenue and does a general ROI on your ad spend, basically. And so the difference is getting wider in 2022 than it was in 2021. This is because now when you go to a website, the website has a pop-up. It asks you, hey, do you accept all cookies? Most people hit decline, right? Things like that, privacy laws are popping up here and there. And so it's restricting Google's ability to track users from the point of the first click on an ad all the way through to the sale. That's why when people come to us saying they want a 300% return, it's a higher ROAS. Technically, it's not a higher ROAS. It's the same ROAS. When people want a 300% ROAS today, it's a higher return for their business, higher MER, higher profit, higher everything than a 300% ROAS back in 2021. And we expect this trend to continue into 2023, unfortunately. And this is why we are starting to calculate the MER at the end of every single month with all of our clients, because we really can't trust ROAS right now. It seems to be shrinking every month a little bit more than it was the previous month. So that's that. If you guys have any questions for us, check out the links below. We've got StarterPPC, which is for small businesses under $5,000 budgets. And I have the link to StarterPPC.com. You can message us on the chat bubble over there on the website. And then I have also the link to Solutions 8. So if your budget is over $5,000, check out Solutions 8 and let us know what you think. Thanks. Hey everyone, it's Regina at Solutions 8. I often get asked what budget is too small when you're just getting started with Google Ads. So I thought I would answer that question today. The answer is a little bit nuanced. There's some logic. I have some examples pulled for you. And so I'm going to get through all of that.